I had a panic attack in front of a girl who at the time I considered my best friend on campus. And a day later, I got an email from the school's administration saying that I was being told to leave campus because I was a danger to myself and others. And so the first time I ever told my story to anybody outside of the walls of my home or a therapist was to a bunch of administrators in suits at a table who were talking about me as if I was a liability to be dealt with. And I was hearing all of that. And it flipped a switch in me. And I, kind of like with the encouragement of friends, realized that if I didn't want people to make assumptions about me because of my mental illness, I was gonna have to actively tell my story on my own terms. And I started doing that, and as part of that, I helped found the NAMI On Campus at my undergrad, and it just changed everything. It changed everything. Suddenly there was like a weight on my shoulder, this big secret that was no longer there because it was no longer a secret. It allowed me to accept that my mental illness is part of who I am, and that's not a bad thing. The same way that I need to wear contacts or glasses to see, I need to take my medication and go to therapy to not completely spiral, and that's okay. And it allowed me to participate and engage in my care in a way that I never had before. And that is a big reason I'm able to do everything I'm able to do today, because I have learned how to take care of myself and build that environment around me that allows me to thrive, and that is almost exclusively because of NAMI. I went to a very prestigious university, which, very proud and very lucky to have been able to do that. But one of the fallacies on those campuses and college campuses really at large is what we call the swimming duck syndrome, where it feels like everybody else is like gliding and just like easing through college. Everything's working out for them. They're, work hard, play hard, the whole thing, but you're not seeing how frantically people are pedaling under the water. You only know that within yourself. And what we tried to do was expose the pedaling, expose the struggling, kind of normalize the fact that like everybody is working really hard and some people are not managing it, or some people are better managing it than others. And if you're having trouble managing it, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to take some things off your plate. It's okay to just kind of do what you need to do to thrive. So to that end, we had a lot of programs that I think really helped the student body. We would facilitate like coffee catch-ups where you could sign up and you would get paired with someone else, and you and that other person go get coffee or ice cream or whatever, and you just talk. You talk about whatever you want to talk about. You get to know each other. You talk about what you're struggling with. You just have a safe space with someone who has offered to be there to listen to you, and vice versa. Another thing we did was we offered like companions. If you wanted to go to CAPS and you were going for the first time and you were scared or you didn't know what to expect, we would pair you up with someone who would go to your appointment with you and just sit in the waiting room, and then once you're done, kind of pick you up and, warm hand you off back to the real world. And then just like a lot of panels and discussions where people could share openly about their mental health. So the first time I told my story on my own terms was at one of those panels. And it was a really empowering experience. Even now, actually, having any opportunity that I get to share my story on my own terms with an audience that I want to hear it is always, like, I always find myself back in that room with all of those suits and thinking about that 20-year-old who didn't have the chance to do that. And I'm honoring her by continuing to do it and continuing to do it in a way that is empowering rather than embarrassing. Now, like a board member doing all of these pieces, whatever, everyone's always like, NAMI is so lucky to have you. No, I am so lucky to have NAMI and to keep having NAMI, and to get to do this, and because I would not be here without this organization.